All right, guys, so we're in the lead. We got a good bag yesterday. I kind of played the tide right and was able to put up 21-3, which has me in the lead by, I don't know, 5-6 ounces, something like that. Nothing crazy, but it's a really good start. I'm happy with it. So just to kind of recap of the day, unfortunately, I don't have any of the fish catches. I don't know what happened to my GoPro. It apparently recorded the afternoon, but not the morning when I did all my fish catching. I know I turned it back on, so I'm not sure what happened. It kind of rattled loose on that long run. I was going from Osborne Landing up here towards Richmond, running all the way down to the Jackhammer River. No big secret there, but it's got the bigger fish typically, and that's how I was playing it. So when I ran down there, the tide was going to be low just before 10 o'clock. So I was kind of playing that. I knew the last 2 hours of outgoing, then we had an hour of incoming that was going to be good for me. And I was just kind of waiting those fish out. I went through this one little ditch that when the tide was up, they would be up on the flat, kind of scattered out all over the place. And they didn't really set up exactly how I was hoping until the tide got out. So once the tide got out, that was when I went to work. I was throwing a swim jig with a Z-Man Heller crawls on it. You had to cut it down a little bit, so if you haven't seen that before, this crawl, it's awesome. It pushes a lot of water off to help those fish find it, and I would just throw it out there. I was using a favorite rod. It's a 731 heavy rush, and I was just swimming that jig right through it all. So we'll see what happens today. We're going to keep doing the same kind of game plan here on day 2. But after I got those fish on the swim jig, then I went and, getting crazy here, started flipping some hardcover. I caught one off a duck blind at low tide when it started to come back in. It's just a little area, it's a little bit deeper. So I was working that, and that helped a lot. I caught a 6.6 and I caught another 4-pounder off of it. So had me in a really good place from that aspect of it. And the rest of the day I went and checked some other water. I know the low tide is definitely key. So without having that for a majority of the rest of the day, didn't really get too many other bites. I didn't go back to the area that I started in where I had probably 14, maybe more pounds off of it. I had 5 that I was happy with, probably 5 for like 15 or so. And then after that, I was telling you I was running around, checked a couple other areas, started fishing some areas that had, I thought had some potential. It had a bunch of hydrilla back in there, and I thought that was going to be a big player. I thought maybe I could even catch them on high tide when it was had water moving in on them. But those fish, they still seem to scatter. They seem to go to those arrowheads. They don't seem to stick to that hydrilla or coontail, even if it's really lush and good looking. But that's all right. We're going to go down there today. We're not going to have as much of the outgoing until I think 11. It's just an hour, 45 minutes difference each day. So we'll get down there, see what's going on, and then try to go catch them. So that's the day 1 recap of the James River. One last thing, I also didn't shoot much during the practice, so we'll just go over our practice recap here as well real quick while I have you. How I found this area was just, I was throwing a swim jig. I knew I wanted a couple areas I wanted to check during low tides, and we were getting a low tide in the morning and then in the afternoon. So I had 2 low tides I could kind of check different areas out, and I found 3 areas that really seemed to have fish. I'd catch 1 or 2, and they were 1.5-pound, 2-pounders, and I'd keep moving, or I'd cover my hook up and I'd shake them off. So I went to the area that I got the most bites in practice, and I just kind of hunkered down there, and I figured if I could just keep grinding away on them, that I would eventually be able to catch a good limit there. I was thinking 12, 13 pounds would be pretty good, and I think 13.5 right now has the top 50 cut. So it's definitely fishing very good. The James River is loaded with fish. I think almost everybody in the field caught a limit today or yesterday, which is insane. That's a lot of fish for 100 and almost 60 guys to be catching. So if you're looking for some fun, James River might not be a bad choice. So we'll see how it goes. Look forward to giving you the recap of day 2. Hopefully the GoPro works a little better tomorrow or today. And thanks for watching. If you do me a huge favor, please subscribe. See ya.